This is Dave Loves Comics, man, coming from you live from Chicago. Thanks for stopping by, man. Let me just throw a little magic voodoo DC universe vibes out there, man. Title of this video is, man, I'm gonna keep it real short as possible as I can. There's a Flash movie coming out next year. It's gonna be time-dimensional, multi-universal. It's gonna be hopping around the universe. Michael Keaton is coming back. His Batman, they got their own version of Supergirl is going to be in it, and other rumors, and this is supposed to be a continuing thing in the universe. But my title of this one is my Christmas list of what I would like to see in the next Flash movie. And I'm coming from the viewpoint of being a comic book fan, a casual fan, a casual film fan, friends with a lot of people that it's all superheroes to them. It's all men in tights running around being vigilantes. But to hit a wider audience, keep it simple, and yet let it be a restart to a whole new different generation if this is what DC want to do. But really, number one thing, and this may sound absolutely simplified, but Bruce Wayne has to be retired. In whatever universe. Esmeralda's, he's our Flash in this Justice League. He's going to run around and talk about Grant Gustafson and all this stuff. But if Batman, I take this back. I want Bruce Wayne to be majority of the movie. I don't even want him to put the suit on. Let it be in the costume in the back. Let him run in the outfit. Help him get back to the proper universe and make some other changes. Maybe put on the Dark Knight suit. But I say this because plausibility, realistically, and I think that this is a difference between a lot of Batman fans. A lot of Batman fans feel that, Bruce Wayne died and Batman is the Batman. 24 hours and Bruce Wayne is a tool. But in reading a lot of books and for film, and that's the thing, for film, a man can only do it so long. And even the greatest Batman director, Christopher Nolan, said that he's someone who doesn't want to do it. He couldn't want to do it all the time. There's got to be an end game in it. Bruce Wayne is always Bruce Wayne, and Batman is the weapon. That's a little controversial. Even Frank Miller, as crazy as he is, 300 and Sin City and spitting, even him, 45 years old, Batman star. Some death, some loss, Jason Todd and his world. And, he came back in The Dark Knight, but had to reinvent himself with some type of equipment. And I think that the notion, and I think like even The Dark Knight Rises, which upset a lot of people, and even me included, that it was only 2 films, and then he retired for 8 years. But remember, in the world of Christopher Nolan, there was no supervillains. There was no Mr. Freeze. There was no Penguin. Scarecrow was selling dope in the, in an alley, and the Joker was locked up. So the Harvey Dent did the job it was supposed to do. Even in the Frank Miller world with all the supervillains, it took him 45 years and some deaths and some loss before, he had a lot more folks to, fight with. But Batman is a weapon. Comic book may be different, but film-wise, and because of that, I don't want. And I think a lot of people, and what I want, I'm trying to, I'm thinking about other casual film goers. That's my big thing. I want everybody to be happy. 60-year-old beating people up, with even more high-tech equipment. I just think that is not the look they really want to go with right now. You'd be very on the verge of being some old grizzled Clint Eastwood. You want a piece of me, punk? And I think that let him pause. Let him put it on. Let it be a beautiful journey of him putting the suit on one more time to do one more last adventure. And I'm okay with that. And I think that, that goes to my number 2, which people may kind of like, oh, that sounds boring. But my number 2 is it has to be cinematic. We have bits and pieces of it. At some point, because there's always going to be some crime, Batman can have trained a new team. It doesn't even have to be in the movie. Just do a panel shot of the Batman family. I mean, just say one day in the war in Gotham City, I came across a young soldier and I taught him and I trained him and it became Dick Grayson. It became Robin, which is now my Nightwing. Show him in the current day. Do a rooftop scene. And from Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Batwing, Batwoman, Batgirl, Huntress, through all of them, and have the survivor members in this current time. If there's a future version, of course, Michael Keaton, you can have that Selena Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer, the Huntress, a version of the Huntress, which in the comics they had a daughter. Do a Commissioner Gordon is now Barbara Gordon. However you want to spin it around, but some acknowledgement of it. Because Batman, offensive Superman, but Batman, the history, he does not trust superpowered people. And he certainly does not trust people that he has not trained and sanctioned under his command. And I know in the comics he has Batman and Outsiders, which is a superhero power team. But majority, it is the Bat family. And you don't even have to do origin story or the beginnings of things, because anybody who's not even familiar with Batman can look at the roof and say, "Oh, is 8 people with bat symbols on them. These are people he trained." That's just, there you go. That's because it's less complicated of how people got powers if they just, I trained with Batman for 6 years. Is okay. Then and I got the equipment and things to work it out. Throw in a spoiler up in that, and it's amazing because not that a lot of people watch it. I don't watch it. I watch it off and on, but I was just really noticing like CW Batwoman. They have the Batman character, but they got Nightwing who's coming up. Props to them for doing that. Got 2 Batwomen, Batwoman 1 and Batwoman 2. They even had the spoiler, they had the future Batman's, fellow hero in the Gotham battle, and I'm just like, wow, see, just keep it simplified. But cinematic movie, I know they got ideas about, him retraining a new super team and Supergirl and all that. And, it's complicating themselves. Now, number 3, I'm trying to make this a little short. Number 3, here's the thing. I said earlier, it's easy for this Michael Keaton to have put down the mantle. Number 1 thing, there's no Joker. The Birds of Prey television show in CW are going back and, Warner Brothers TV. It was supposed to be a spinoff of the Michael Keaton world, but then I realized that they opened with The Killing Joke, famously the Killing Joke. Joker shot Barbara Gordon and paralyzed her. And they can even do that for this movie. Have the Commissioner Gordon, Barbara Gordon be in a wheelchair. However they do it. But going back, and that show has some really good, looking back, some really good points in it. But in this world, since it's no Joker, if this is a multi-universal crossover event, in the world of Michael Keaton, she's not even my favorite character, but it's crazy not to do Harley Quinn. And hear me out, because Harley Quinn is truly DC's Deadpool before Deadpool. Harley Quinn existed in animation, Batman animated in the 90s. Then later on in the Hush with the comic books, she came in the comic books. A couple, starting with the issues. I think it was Nightfall, not Nightfall, No Man's Land, and she made a appearance in it, but official one going on down the line. But you can do a Harley Quinn in Michael Keaton's world. You can even say the daughter of the Joker, Jerry Hall or Tara. You can have maybe Tara Strong or someone be her mom. The girl who, I think Haley Coco, who done the animated voice for the Harley Quinn, highly regarded HBO show. And who would not want to see her in a Harley Quinn outfit? But I think that if they do, if that's a villain that they're looking for, but you can have the animated version, Margaret Robbie version, the video game version, you can have it. But in the world of Michael Keaton's Joker, someone would take the mantle of the Joker. So why not be? It can be her daughter, or it had to be a daughter or someone someone else just take the mantle, who jumped into acid. Even the Birds of Prey, CW show, they had the Harley Quinn, who did know the Joker, was lovers of the Joker and continued the legacy on it. Even if it's a psychiatrist version with, Red Hitman, somewhere a mixture of it, because you have to have that sense of madness and craziness that's going on. Someone take the mantle. And even with Margaret Robbie, she's Suicide Squad. That was one version. They got a new Suicide Squad coming out, which is a different version of it, a reimagined version of it. So here's another example. We're watching right before our eyes. Two different versions of Harley Quinn played by the same actress. And Birds of Prey must be somewhere in the middle. I mean, I guess that is a spinoff of the first Suicide Squad. But that is a connecting tissue that they can really do and really work on. And like I say, I don't want to make no big long video about it, but there's this free. It's free. It's free because my wanting it. The simpler it is, the more people get a grasp of it and get a look at it, an idea without being overwhelming on a bunch of Easter eggs that you had to, oh, this was in this book and this was this book and this was this book. Let it be there and tell your story, but simplify. But you cannot. Because they're going to have Michael Keaton. They got Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck going to be in it. So that's two Batman. And some point or time, when it's over, in no respect, I love Michael Keaton. When it's over, said and done, the Michael Keaton from another Earth, if it's all united or put together, Michael Keaton is not going to do 3 Batman films. He may do some appearances and do the legacy, but you are still, with 2 Batman, you still going to be empty. Are we going to get another Batman? And it's just, it's quite too much. And another real thing, and this is totally popped in my mind. If I was Warner Brothers, to tighten it all up, I wish success for the Matt Reeves Batman movie. I wish success for that, and I hope it work out. I hope I ever get a job. But if I was in Warner Brothers, I would be connecting everything together. And maybe it's not too late. I know Matt Reeves not, because he was guarded. I want my own world. I'm not got nothing to do with that Snyder and all that stuff. And that's something he decided. But if you got all the pieces on the table together, because I love, I love Robert Pattinson. He could have been Terry McGinnis. He could have been Batman. If you're going to get Michael, if they knew they was going to get Michael Keaton, this is what I'm going to say. You can't predict the future. If they knew that was going to get Michael Keaton, they would have did a Batman Beyond. They could have did a Batman Beyond story first. Then have Flash run in. Have Flash run in, mess up the dimensional things, and when he comes back, Robert Pattinson could have been the Batman of this earth, and we could have simplified. So he could have had adventures with, I wish I was from your world. I wonder what it feels like to be Bruce Wayne. And when he comes back into this world, he is actual Bruce Wayne. So you had ideas like, oh my God, there's a Batman version of you in the future. And we just pretend like nothing happened. And then, the Matt Reeves, there's your Batman in this world. And, now we got to find a Superman, but that's a whole different video. But anyway, I want to keep this real short and sweet, man. I just want to throw a little bit out there. But a wish list for the Flash. Thank you all.